Hi guys, and welcome back to our FIFA 21 Sunderland Road to Glory career mode. So in the last episode, if you haven't seen it, then leave now because it's going to be a massive spoiler, even though it's already kind of spoiled because on the screen, as you can see, we clinched the League One title last season. But what we're doing in this episode is a season review. It's something I've done every year, every time I've done FIFA. At the end of every season, we do a review. So we go through the league tables, other league tables as well. We have a look at our players and how much they've improved. Little bits of stats and statistics, all that kind of stuff, which I'm really interested in. I know a lot of you guys like to see it as well. And then towards the end of the episode, I'm not too sure how long it'll be. Probably not too long in comparison to normal episodes. But at the end, we will go over to next season, the beginning of next season, to have a look at how much we have in the transfer budget, and then we will discuss what we should do in terms of buying players, selling players, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to leave it for a good few days, possibly even close to a week, because it is actually my birthday on Thursday, so it'd be nice for me to have a good few days off anyway. So it's probably come at a good time, this episode. So it'll give you guys plenty of time to leave your suggestions in the comments, what you think we should do in terms of selling, buying, all that kind of stuff anyway. But let's get straight into it. So as you can see, we smashed the League One title, the League One season, and we finished on 108 points. But Hull will be joining us in the Championship as well, and rightly so, because they've had a brilliant season as well, with Oxford, MK Dons, Ipswich and Peterborough all going to battle it out in the playoffs. And in the bottom four, we have Rochdale, Swindon, Doncaster and Accrington Stanley all going down to League Two. But now let's have a look to the Championship, where we will be going next season. So Watford and Brentford are both going up to the Premier League. What a season that is for Brentford. Watford returning to the Premier League as well, with Nottingham Forest, Cardiff, Blackburn and Stoke battling out in the playoffs. Bournemouth have just been relegated as well from the Premier League, just about missing out on the on a playoff place by a few points. Now going down to League One, where we are leaving this season, of course. Rotherham, Luton and Wycombe, of course. Wycombe, poor old Wycombe, eh? Just out of interest, we'll have a quick look at the Premier League as well. City won the title by just 2 points, as Liverpool do finish second, Chelsea in third and Spurs in fourth. Who are coming down, though, to the Championship? Sheffield United, Brighton and Aston Villa will be facing all three of them next season. And in the FA Cup, Millwall actually got themselves all the way to the finals, but they did get beat by 2-0 against Everton. What a run that is for Millwall. And Spurs beat Manchester City on penalties 5-4 in the Carabao Cup final to get themselves some silverware. But Manchester City did redeem themselves with a 3-1 win in the Champions League final. What a season it is for them, winning the Prem and getting hands on the Champions League trophy as well. And in the Europa League final, Arsenal lost on penalties in a heartbreaking penalty shootout. They lost 4-3 to Gladbach in the final there. But now let's get on to the League One scoring charts. We do have Will Grigg, who did win the top goal scorer in League One with 25 goals in 39 games. What a season he had. Henry got himself 20 goals for Oxford as well. French actually got 20, which I did not realise, but 20 goals in 40 games. That's a goal every other game for French. The 17-year-old who's come through and absolutely torn it up. Do we have any more players in the scoring charts? Let's have a look. I don't think we do. Those two have been our main scorers. No, we have no more Sunderland players within the top scorers chart, but we should do in the assists. We'll have a look here. Look at that. All Sunderland players, Gooch, French, Grigg and Power, getting all the top 4 spots for us. O'Brien down there in 12th as well with 6 assists, but Gooch getting himself 13. French with 13 as well, so that's 20 goals and 13 assists for Isaac French this season. Grigg as well with 25 goals, 9 assists. Power in there with 9 as well. Anyone else, should I say? Dobson got himself 6, and he didn't even play that often, I don't think, Dobson. He got 17 games last season, George Dobson, but still got 6 assists, which is really, really good. And for clean sheets, we didn't win that one, as Burge did play the majority of the games, playing 41, but only got 19 clean sheets. So defensively, that's something we probably have to work on a little bit. But in saying that, we still absolutely smashed the league. Now, I won't have a look at the yellow cards and red cards because I'm really not too bothered about it. But now to my favourite part of a season review, and that is to check on the progress, rating-wise, of our players throughout the season. We'll see what they was rated and what they're rated now. I just really find this very interesting. So first and foremost, we have Anthony Patterson, who is currently out on loan. He was rated 52, now rated 55. We have George Andrews, who we've just got out of the youth academy. I did that off camera because a handful of players, we had 2 or 3 of them, maybe even 4 of them in the youth academy, and a couple of them wanted to come out. They were complaining. So I've given them contracts and brought them in to the first team squad. I think George Andrews in particular I think he's only 16, of course, 6'4", rated 56 now. I think he has a potential between 80 and 85, so that's not too bad. So we have him in there. He's improved by 2. Remy Matthews has gone up by 2, now rated 69. Lee Burge has gone up by 2 as well, now rated 65. Denver Hume goes up by a whopping 6. Now rated 71, and that's because he's played so many games this season as well. Brad Smith, who we did bring in on a free transfer, he's improved by 3, now rated 69. Morgan Feeney, who hasn't really featured, is still gone up by 3, now rated 66. Brandon Taylor, 52, now rated 57. Jamali has gone up by 3 as well, now rated 65. Jordan Willis has gone up by 4. He was 66, now rated 70. Nathan Collins has gone up by 1, now rated 65. Bailey Wright has gone up by 2, now rated 70. Luke O'Nien has gone up by 5 as well. That's a class little bit of an improvement for Luke O'Nien, rated 72 now. Conor McLaughlin has remained at 65. In all fairness, we haven't really played him too much, only in the sort of quick sim games have we used him. Josh Scowen goes up by 2, now rated 70, but he's just on the brink, as you can see, of hitting 71. Grant Ledbetter has gone down by 3, which is really unfortunate, and his contract is about to run out, and I'm going to allow it to do so as well. Sarika Dembele, who recently joined us in January, is gone up by 3, now rated 71. Aidan O'Brien goes up by 1, which is a shame really, because he's been really good this season, but he is now rated 69. Kieran Dunn goes up by 5, now rated 56. Aidan McGeady goes down by 3, but he is now retiring. Lucas Winkler, who came out of the academy at the beginning of the season, has gone up by 4, now rated 64. Dan Neal has gone up by 3, now rated 53. Jake Hackett has gone up by 3, now rated 55. Max Power has gone up by 1, rated 67. Oscar Wyatt, who we have also brought out of the academy, has gone up by 2, now rated 61. George Dobson has gone up by 4, now rated 69. Tony Bryce has gone up massively, improving by 6, now rated 68. I'm really excited to see Tony Bryce's progress continue. Elliot Embleton has gone up by 5, now rated 65. We have Augustin Pereira, who's gone up by 2, now rated 62. Charlie Nash, another youngster. There's probably a few of these players that you're thinking, who the hell are these players? But they've all come through the academy, and I don't really talk about them too much because they're just sitting there. And of course, a lot of these players, or some of them at least, I'm literally just using them as fodder for our transfer budget, basically. And we probably will do that next season, or maybe even use them as leverage in a deal to get someone else in. But either way, Charlie Nash has gone up by 4, now rated 60. Jack Diamond has gone up by 5, now rated 57. Enrique Mora has gone up by 1. The 16-year-old is now rated 60. Lyndon Gooch has gone up by 5, now rated 72, which is really, really good. Chris Maguire has gone down by 2, now rated 65 as well. Albert Clifford has gone up by 1, now rated 61. Now Isaac French, the big one, he's gone up by 5, now rated 74. He is currently our highest rated player. And Ricky J. Jones come to us in January as well, played really well, and he's now rated 64, improving by 3. Will Grigg, which is probably the most baffling one, considering that dynamic potential is supposed to be a thing with your form and all that kind of stuff. Excellent form, he's got 25 goals, and hasn't gone up at all. Hasn't gone down, but he hasn't gone up at all. He's still rated 65. Now, Danny Graham has gone down considerably as well. He's now rated 63. He's another player who has a contract running out, and I'm going to allow it to do so. But if we have a look at the goals and assists throughout the squad, we have, of course, Will Grigg with 26 in all competitions with 9 assists there as well. French on 20, as we already know. Gooch getting loads of assists and a few goals as well. I like how our main strikers that we used, French and Grigg, have got us over 40 goals between them, which is really, really good. And everyone else has chipped in with handfuls of goals here and there. That's what I like to see. The likes of Jones got 7 goals and 2 assists and just 20 appearances. That's really good for him because, bear in mind, a good handful of his appearances as well came quite late on off the bench. So I can respect that. That's a really good return from Ricky J. Jones. So as you can see there, there's goals all over the shot and assists. So everyone's contributed this season really, really well. But now, before we do skip to next season, I'm going to talk about selling a few youngsters to you, basically. So I've organised, as you can see, we have a really, really big squad. Although McGeady is going to be retiring. We have Ledbetter, who's going as well at the end of his contract, and Danny Graham as well. But, as you can see, all these players here, I've organised it all across the bottom. All the players that don't have a player profile face or just a profile picture type thing, I want to get rid of them all, essentially. Graham is, of course, already going, as mentioned. But Jamali is also going as well. Feeney is on the transfer list. Now, the rest of them, the likes of Diamond, Taylor, Hackett, Dunn, Neal as well, it's not allowing me to take them off the transfer list. The only player it allowed me to do it was Jack Diamond for some reason. The rest of them, it's glitching out and basically just not responding. When I press, remove off the off the loan list, which they were on loan, and they were all rejecting loans for some reason and thought that they should have stayed at the club, even though they weren't getting any game time. It's just not allowing me to remove them off the transfer list. Sorry, the loan list again, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so I'm actually considering just releasing them. It's probably about 30k a piece, some of them 60k. So you're probably looking at about 200k in terms of all of them to release them all, and that means Dunn, Neil, Taylor and Hackett, or maybe about 150k. But you let me know in the comments what you think I should do with that, because it's glitched out. They've all got still like a good 2 or 3 years. They're taking wages, and I kind of just want to get them off the books because it is getting really crowded within our squad as well. But now we will simulate until the end of the season, and then of course see what the board have to say to us, see if they're happy with us, and then we'll go into next season, see how much the transfer budget is. Hopefully it's decent. I'm hoping it's about 15-20. I doubt it will be, but we could struggle. If it's like 9-10 million, then it's going to be a real struggle, and I'll explain why when we do get to it. But we'll see anyway. We'll end the season, see what the boss says. We come to the end of the season. I'm writing to let you know the board are delighted. Okay, they're delighted. That's all I need to know. So let's move on to next season, see how much money we have. That's the big thing for me. We still had about $1 million left in the bank anyway before this, so hopefully that goes over, and it should go over to this season's transfer budget somewhat. So hopefully that helps. So here we are. We have moved on to next season. We're going to go for the highest paying pre-season tournament, of course, and as usual, I am just going to simulate these games, not watch them. I'm just going to do quick sims for them because I really couldn't care less about pre-season tournaments. But here we go. Let's have a look to see how much money. I'm really nervous actually because this could be a nightmare. It could be a really interesting transfer window if it isn't as much as I think it is. Let's have a look. 11.2 million with a wage budget of 24k. If we move that around a bit, because we're going to need quite a bit of wages. God, you're looking at like 8 million or so if you take wages into account as well. With a pre-season tournament, we might get another mil or two. If we do get knocked out anyway, we could get 3 if we win the whole thing. So really, I probably should care about the pre-season tournament a bit more, but I just don't. But yeah, we're probably looking around 10 million with a pre-season tournament, which isn't ideal. And I'll tell you why, because I feel as though the players that we would need or the players that we would want, they're literally worth like 5 million each. And I feel like we need quite a few players. For example, if we wanted to go for this lad here, who has been suggested to me, Noni Madueke, English lad from PSV, you can play on the right or as a striker, but he's actually worth about 8 to 10 million, which is ridiculous. This lad here, Aliseda, 7.3 million release clause, that's almost all of our wage budget. And then even if you look at players who are only half decent, like for example, let's have a look at Joshua Emmanuel. You're looking at anywhere between 1.8 and 2 million for him, which isn't too bad because he's rated 69. But anyone who's sort of early 70s, you're literally looking at like 4 or 5 million. So the way it's going to work, it's going to be very, very difficult. So we might rely quite heavily. For example, here, Whiteman 71, we'd have to pay between sort of 3-ish and 4.1 million. It depends what kind of players you want me to get, essentially. Of course, first and foremost, my focus will be shipping players out. That's a big focus for me. But with only sort of 10 million to play with, you're only really going to get one really decent player. For example, that Madueke, like I say, I'm pretty sure he's rated like 72, 73, and he is worth about 8 million. So to get him, that's all of our transfer budget gone. And he's only rated like 72, 73, like I say. So it's making me think, shall I get sort of like one standout-ish player, for about 5 million max, and then try and get like 2 or 3 younger players, and then we'd probably have to keep almost an identical squad to what we had last season. But of course, that's something that you guys can let me know. But in terms of selling, from the first team, I'd struggle. I would absolutely struggle to know who to get rid of because we had such a solid season. We need another centre-back, a young centre-back anyway, so that is one priority. Up top, we're relatively okay at the minute with, of course, we have Ricky J. Jones, Grigg and French as well, and we do rotate, and in the reserve side, I only use the one striker anyway, if I have to anyway. I can only use the one striker, that's fine. So 3 strikers there, that's actually okay. If it's good enough or not to keep us up, that remains to be seen, because remember, I've seen a lot of people saying recently, when are you going to put the difficulty up? I've already explained. We're going up to Legendary this season. So, of course, it's going to be a lot more difficult. If anything, it could even end up being a relegation battle. I genuinely can't see us going up straight away this season because I haven't really tested Legendary yet. And, of course, at times I've really got used to the world-class difficulty, and at times it did look very easy. But I don't think it was too easy to the fact where it was spoiling my fun, because there were, and we have seen, there's a handful of episodes where the AI is just really inconsistent. Like one game, they're hilariously easy to play against. They're basically running away from the ball. They're not sprinting. And then the next game, I can't get the ball. They're playing like Barcelona and they're scoring for fun. Do you know what I mean? Granted, it didn't happen too often, but it did happen throughout last season. But yeah, so just looking through the squad, just take note of what we've got, who you think we should get rid of, who you think we should bring in, and what do you think is our priority. Because it is going to be a really, really interesting one. For me, I think the players to sell, there'll probably be a couple of the youngsters. Of course, some of the players that don't have the player pictures, I might just release, as I say, because it won't let me take them off the loan list. So I'm not too sure what to do in that sense. We've got plenty of central midfielders. Wyatt, I might put him on the loan list, but I'm scared to do that because then I might not be able to take him off it if later down the line it doesn't work. So it is quite a difficult one. But here are the players. We do have quite a heavy squad and do want to chop it down quite considerably. Of course, Collins has just rejoined us as well, as we sorted that out in the last episode. But that is pretty much it, guys. So like I say, how would you like me to approach it? With this sort of 10 million that we do have to spend, I could easily get like maybe 4 or 5, possibly even 6 youngsters who are rated like 60-ish now, who we know have decent potential. Or I could sort of get one bigger player that's going to be worth like 7 or 8 million, and then just try and get a one cheap centre-back. So it would only be the 2 signings, which wouldn't be the end of the world. But we don't have all the money in the world to spend either. So that is pretty much it, guys. There's a lot to think about. And like I said, I'm going to leave it a few days. That's the amount of money we have. Again, with the pre-season tournament, it'll probably bump it up to about 10 mil, as I say. But there is a lot to think about. So I'll leave it a few days for you guys to have a think. Help me out in the comments. What you think I should do? Who do you think I should go for? Who should I sell? How should I approach it, essentially? But that is it, guys. That is the Season 1 review done. If you have enjoyed this season, of course, and this video, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.